Hello, welcome to Tea with the Druid 382. My name is Carr-Gomm, and Tea with the Druid is brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. So let's see, is there anybody there? Yes, there are 128 people there. Some are in the Cotswolds, some are in Perth, some in Hertfordshire, some in Gibraltar, some in Scotland, some in North Carolina, some in Italy, Glossop in Derbyshire, Gisborne in New Zealand, Brisbane in Australia, Scotland, Boston, Massachusetts, Ibiza, New York, South Africa, Central Virginia, Dartmoor, Denmark, Italy, Maryland. Hooray, lovely to see you. Do say where you're from. Lorach in Germany, Sandy Acre in Derbyshire, Bromley, Leiden, Washington, Victoria, Australia, Eastington in South Gloucestershire, Barrie, Ontario. Fantastic. Great to see you. Welcome everybody. Sweden, Missouri, the Baltic Sea, Canada, Essex, lots of lovely places. Lovely. Do make yourself at home. Gather around the fire. If you're on the northern hemisphere, you might be feeling a little chilly, so you may want to get closer to the fire. If you're from the southern hemisphere, you might be sitting here in a bathing costume, feeling nice and warm. I don't know. But if you're in Norway, as is sounds from the Hermitage, then you're probably a bit chilly. So yes, we'll get close to the fire. And just let's take a moment to tune in, to breathe in deeply. And then breathe out fully, just relaxing into being here together. We've got about half an hour to be here, 25 minutes, half an hour. Just to enter a slower vibration, perhaps a calmer space than we're normally used to around us, depending on how busy we are. And that's the idea of Tea with the Druid, to create a kind of sanctuary atmosphere. And just check in and see how you're feeling. How are you feeling now? What best describes where you're at? Maybe we, instead of using the word feeling as I often do, how are you feeling? Maybe if I ask this other question, where are you at? See, that might be a feeling, that's where you're at. Or it could be something else. It could be a kind of an idea you're into, or a kind of perspective you're at the moment. Where are you at? See how that lands in your awareness. See what answer comes back. And then type it in. Then we can get a feel for where everybody's at. A bit worried, calm and content, upbeat, knackered today, a bit scattered, burned out but hopeful, on the way back. I'm busy-ish. Oh gosh, so fast. Content and frustrated. Excuse me. Peaceful at the precipice of change. Looking for peace, tired but inspired, calm and creative. Under construction, like that. Antsy, but in a good way. Boogieing to the momentum of ancestors. Still waking up in Oz, tired and worried, busy, anxious for the coming change. Cultivating deep rest. Content after a wonderful Samhain ceremony yesterday. Sleepy, happy but tired. Calm after anxiety. looking forward to a new year of opportunity. Tired and worn out, slightly overwhelmed. I feel grateful and supported by spirit. Tired and a bit scared. Higa. Anxious, overwhelmed, but also excited and happy from the weekend and celebrating Samhain with others. Needing to catch up. Anxious, glad to be here. Tired, very stressed and shoulder pain bad. Tired and sorting laundry. Well rested after running. Living through contentment and stillness. Happy to be singing with the choir for the coming season. I have hot tea in my hands. Tired but content. While mindful of the problems in the world, I'm enjoying beautiful people, places, and things. This autumn in particular is lovely. I think you're in the States, David. Here in the UK, or certainly in southern England, it's very lovely. It's something about the autumn this year. The leaves are just turning the most beautiful colour. Sometimes they drop fairly fast. They're staying and just slowly changing colour. Scattered and rebuilding my spiritual self. Good but unmotivated. Life rolls onwards. Deeply grateful. A glorious, beautiful start to the new year. Yes, Kathy, that's a lovely way, certainly, that I would describe the outside, the world of nature here. A gloriously beautiful start to the new year. Blooming marvelous. Sad from all the horrors that have happened recently. Joining for the first time, feeling completely happy after an amazing Samhain weekend camp out. That's from the Obod River of Stars Druid Fellowship. Tired but peaceful. Celebrating the autumnal weather has finally arrived in Oklahoma. Okay. Where we've a very vibrant cloak of leaves carpeting our village, says Natalie. Connected, striving despite difficulties. Stranded in Edinburgh after train derailment. Gosh. Well, there are worse places to be stranded, I have to say. Edinburgh is a very lovely town. We've just returned from Stonehenge, and the trees are lovely down there. Here in Scotland, the leaves are all blown off by Storm Amy. Silenas, my grove was carpeted in yellow pine needles. Great. Okay, so lovely. So where Samhain can last, really for as long as you feel it needs to last for you, the particular period. It quite as it should be. It doesn't have sharp delineated boundaries. On the other hand, certainly within the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, we kind of delineate it within a 3-day period, 31 October to 2 November, on the understanding that actually Samhain is a living, breathing time, and depending on where you're at, depending on the season, the year, it can be shifted slightly one way or t'other. Might be feel a slightly shorter period to you, might feel a slightly longer period to you. But I titled this tea "Moving Through Samhain," and moving through and on from Samhain, because now in the Northern Hemisphere, we're entering this very interesting period from the 3rd, 4th November on through till the winter solstice, about 6 weeks or so. If you're mapping a life of a person and you believe in reincarnation, you could suggest that conception occurs at the winter solstice, birth at Imbolc, childhood at Olban Isla, and moving into young adulthood at Beltane, mature adulthood at Alban Herfin, round to Alban Elfed, the autumn equinox, getting a bit older, perhaps into your sort of 50s or something, late 50s, and then moving to moving towards, well, maybe later, maybe your 60s. I don't know. This is very, and then you and then you move around to Samhain and you snuff it, and then you've got the gap between, you shuffle off your mortal coil, and then you've got this gap between incarnations. Samhain, let go, gap, and then conception for the next life at the winter solstice. That's just one way of seeing the cycle. This wonderful movement between gaining energy, being incarnate, being physical, being in the world, and then gradually disconnecting, disengaging as the various harvests, the first harvest, the second harvest, the final harvest occurs, and you're in the other world. And this is a time of transition and change. And I received a lovely message yesterday from Anya Fury, who some of you may know, her beautiful music with the Fury family in Ireland. And she sent me this message, and I asked if I could quote it, and she said yes. And this is just a lovely little Samhain practice that you might like to adopt. We're certainly going to do this. Even though we've already done our family ceremony here, we will still do this. And this comes from Jerry McGough, a guide friend of hers. And he says, "My father was born near the border between Monaghan and South Armagh, a political border having physical and emotional boundaries, historical and geographical boundaries, a deeply rural setting where the boundaries between this world and the world of the she are featured in daily tasks to this day." He spoke of a tradition, his father spoke of a tradition of at Halloween in Monaghan. And his I just need to check that. My father and his father spoke of a tradition at Halloween in which his father told him about this timeline reaching back to pre-famine times. And he recalls his father, his grandfather now, telling him of something he'd learned: to go out into the garden or the front of your house and collect the leaves nearest to your door. A little detail there. Collect the leaves nearest your door that have fallen down with the autumn winds. Bring them in. On the leaves, write the names of people who have passed away and hang them up with thread about the kitchen. As many or as few as you might wish. A chance to tell your children of who went before them in life and all that it holds. Let the leaves dry out for a few weeks and then bury them in the garden. What a lovely idea, writing the names of all those who passed away. We were with a friend a few days ago, and our Samhain celebration, I'm very interested in how I'm very familiar with the Druid rituals, and I love the Samhain ritual, but I'm also interested in how we can work with people who aren't perhaps following these ways, or at times when a full-blown ritual isn't possible. How can we integrate practices that support our way of being in the world spiritually that we can share with other people? And what we did is we sat with pieces of paper and we just spent a while thinking of all the people who had passed away and wrote them on pieces of paper. And every so often a name would come to you. Oh gosh, yes, so and so died 5 years ago. Just as many as you wanted. And then we went into an informal ritual in which we, at the key moment, we actually remembered those people that we had remembered. So here you've got the leaves, and you write the names of it, and then you let them dry, you let them hang in your house for as long as you like, really. And for a few weeks, he's saying here in his notes, and bury them in the garden. Or perhaps you might like to just throw them to the wind if there's a wonderful gale or a breeze, and you throw them and you see them fluttering away. Or perhaps you want to throw them in the fire, and you could use the elements, or go to a bridge and drop the leaves in the water and see the water traveling down to the ocean. In what Jerry writes, his grandfather was saying, allow these leaves to replenish the soil, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, autumn turning to winter, the cycle of life and the ghosts that bridge the two, the festival of Samhain. Isn't that a lovely practice? We're going to introduce this in our house. So Natalie says, we write on the leaves we collected last year and crunch them over a fire. It was, oh, somebody else has been doing this. Let's have a look. Show. Oh, it's not working. Okay, the tech isn't working. We write on the leaves we collected the last year and crunch them over a fire. Oh, here we go. It was my dad's tradition from Cork in Ireland. Aha. Then collect new leaves for the next year. Okay, did you write the names of the departed ones on the leaves, Natalie? Tell us that. That's so interesting. Again, a tradition from Ireland. Maybe it's a particularly Irish tradition. Let's have a look. And then we have Dakini is saying, that's lovely. I'm all for the Mexican idea of having picnics on the graves of our beloved dead. And such a beautiful ritual, shared griefs and lives celebrated. Things are changing, I think, in the collective. There are little lights, candles in jars appearing on the graves in local cemeteries, which is something I hadn't noticed before. So I think there is a shift occurring. Yeah. So let's go into a meditation now. Let's go into an autumn meditation. And if you're in New Zealand or the Southern Hemisphere, South Africa, I know we've got people from New Zealand and South Africa here with us. Bear with us. Your turn for Samhain will come soon and in 6 months' time. Meanwhile, you're at the time of Beltane. A different energy, but a similar, and it's all one, really. It's all just this flowing of life. So let's just take this opportunity to drop into a meditation, gently closing our eyes or lowering our gaze to better concentrate on our inner world, the other world. The term inner world suggests that it's sort of inside our bodies. But of course, I think for many of us, that's not our experience, that it's more like the other world or the outer world at a different level. Or perhaps we can even say the world, reality, the universe. And here we are, conscious that we're sitting in front of our screens. But the longer we stay with our eyes closed, the more we can no longer be sure that we are indeed sitting at our screens. Perhaps what's really happening is we're transferring our consciousness to a deeper awareness of being within the sacred grove, being in a clearing in the forest. And to the degree that you wish, just allow yourself to sense the fact that you're seated now in a circle of almost 300 people now who've come from every direction to be gathered in this circle now. Everybody's life on this earth at this moment is now present in our circle. Feel the warmth of the fire with your hands. Smell the smell of wood smoke. Follow your breath in and out as you tune in to the rhythm of the earth. As you breathe out, perhaps your awareness travels down into the earth. You sense the soil, the life in the earth, the energy of the earth. And as you breathe in, this earth energy flows up into your being, bringing you a sense of stability and calm. You feel close to the earth, connected to the earth, supported by the earth. You sense the roots of the trees deep in the soil. Anchored in the soil. The roots curling around rocks and stones, seeking moisture, seeking the nutrients deep within the earth. And you sense the moisture and the energy of the earth rising up through the roots of the trees, flowing up. And as it comes to the surface of the earth, you can feel it flowing up into you as well as up the trunks of the trees. And you become aware of the trees around you, their protection, their sense of integrity and majesty and power, upright, strong, still, quiet. And you breathe in deeply of the forest air, perfumed by the trees. And you notice how the forest air becomes a part of you. And you inhale and exhale. This wonderful dance between you and the trees. As they breathe in the air you breathe out. And as they breathe out, you breathe in the air they exhale. Truly, we are brothers and sisters in this world, on this plane, in this incarnation. We salute you, dear brothers and sisters, the trees. We love you and respect you. May the tree realm be preserved and protected. May all of nature be preserved and protected. And your awareness travels up the branches of the trunks of the trees. And you become aware of the great branches and the leaves of the trees. There may be some evergreen trees, but also many deciduous trees too. Notice them in their different autumn colors. And notice how the sunlight just catches on the leaves of the trees now, just a shaft of sunlight. Maybe it's early morning, maybe it's dusk, maybe it's midday. But there's just some sunlight picking out the colors of the trees. And there's always something so beautiful about an azure blue sky. So look up at the sky now and sense the sky above you and sense it as azure blue, that wonderful, strong blue. And breathe in deeply this color and this energy of the sky. May I be energized by this sky energy. May its vitality flow into every cell of my being. May the subtle energy of the sky bring me a feeling of vigor, of health. May it cleanse me of tiredness, of blockages, just allowing me the life force to flow more freely within me. And as you sense the sky energy flowing into you, sense it meeting the earth energy in the center of your being. Opening your awareness from your center, knowing there's nothing you need to do but simply be here, now. And just watch as golden leaves, one golden leaf after the other, dances gracefully down from the tops of the trees, moving down. And as it moves down, it falls just close to you, within your energy field. So every time a leaf falls down, you feel this little splash of golden energy as the leaf comes into your energy field. And you realize that each golden leaf, each bright yellow leaf, is bringing you a gift that manifests as color, as light, as a feeling of lightness, as a message to you that you can let go too. You can let go and let go and let go, so that all that is no longer needed in your life can fall away from you easily, gently, simply, as the leaves fall from a tree. It being the most natural thing that they can do. Knowing that the beautiful gathering of bright yellow and golden leaves on the forest floor bring nutrients, that as they decay over the coming weeks and months, they bring nutrients to the soil. And all that you let go of will bring richness to your own life in the course of time. And you sense yourself now moving the palms of your hands down onto the earth, touching the moist, bright leaves and the earth beneath them. I let go of all that I no longer need. All that hinders me, I let go of. I let tensions and worries just fall away from me. Trusting in the beauty of life, trusting in stability of earth, energy of air. May this earth beneath me be blessed. May the land be blessed. And you sense your hands floating up now and taking the hand to either side of you so that you're seated in the circle. Sensing everyone together in this circle now. Sensing the energy of the circle. May peace prevail throughout the earth. May the land be blessed. May the trees be blessed. May all of nature be blessed. Gently squeeze the hand to either side of you and move your hand to your heart, both your hands. May my life be blessed. May all lives be blessed. And as you hold your hands to your heart, your awareness of your physical body starts to grow stronger as your awareness of being seated in the sacred grove begins to fade. And as it fades, you become more and more aware of the four walls around you, the ceiling above you, floor beneath you, seated in front of your screen, fully present, here and now. And when you feel ready, you open your eyes. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Have a lovely week. And if you are able to go into the Druid Hearth through the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, then let's gather there in a few minutes. Otherwise, I will see you next week, all being well. In the meanwhile, have a wonderful week. Much love, many blessings. Bye, everyone.